Good morning and welcome to our weekly press conference. I hope everyone is having a wonderful holiday season. Today we have just one topic, which is an update on the City of Erie's new Environmental Advisory Council. When I took office back in 2018, part of my vision was to make Erie a community of choice by developing and welcoming vibrant neighborhoods and a world-class downtown and bayfront. As part of that effort, and after careful planning and review, we have created an Environmental Advisory Council, which I'm very happy to say recently held their first meeting. The role of the Environmental Advisory Council is to research identifiable environmental issues here in Erie and make recommendations on how best to address these issues. At their first meeting, the members were joined by Carolyn Grayshaw, We Can Serve PA's Director of Education. She discussed how other environmental advisory councils all around Pennsylvania effectively work in partnership with their municipalities. Here in Erie, we're very fortunate to have a city with so many beautiful parks, green spaces, tree-lined streets, boulevards, and of course, our world-class Lake Erie Bayfront. It is vitally important to protect our environment and promote the efforts and opportunities that help us to maintain and enjoy what nature provides for us right here in Erie. Here to tell us more about the Environmental Advisory Council is Jackie Spry, the Director of Neighborhood Planning and Resources. Jackie, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mayor, and good morning, everyone. We're really excited that today we can formally introduce the 7 appointed members of the newly formed Environmental Advisory Council, or EAC. The City of Erie is the second municipality to develop an active EAC in Northwest Pennsylvania and the 161st in Pennsylvania. EACs are extensions of municipal government that focus on environmental conservation and improvement. They provide increased capacity for municipalities to protect their natural resources, communicate with the public, and meet their environmental goals. EACs do not make regulatory decisions, nor are they independent environmental advisory organizations. With Mayor Schember's vision and a collaborative education and outreach effort led by the city's sustainability coordinator, Sarah Peelman, the passage of the EAC ordinance was made possible in 2023. EACs function most effectively with elected officials, staff, and other authorities and boards. EACs are comprised of 7 voting members who must be municipal residents and serve 3-year terms with staggered initial appointments. 4 members of the EAC were appointed by City Council and 3 were appointed by Mayor Schember. These city residents all have backgrounds, education, and expertise in environmental issues, natural resources, and conservation strategies, or some combination of these qualifications. I'm pleased to announce our 7-member Environmental Advisory Council, some of which are here with us today. I'm going to introduce them to you. Dr. Sherry Mason, otherwise known as Sam, is currently the Director of Sustainability at Penn State Behrend. Sam has her doctorate in chemistry. She is most well known for her work in freshwater plastic pollution and is obsessed with trash and water, preferably not mixed together. Matt Puz is a planner by trade. He is currently employed as the Mill Creek Township Zoning and Development Officer. He's also served as the City of Erie Zoning Officer for 6.5 years prior to his current position. He has a Bachelor of Science in Biology and Mathematics with a Master of Science in Geography with a concentration in environmental planning. Mr. Puz was involved with Erie Refocus, the City of Erie Comprehensive Plan, and Embrace Mill Creek, the Mill Creek Township Comprehensive Plan. He was involved with amending the City of Erie zoning ordinance to permit urban agriculture. He was also the project manager for Mill Creek Township's official map and zoning ordinance rewrite. Mr. Puz spends his spare time with his family, is an avid chess player, and enjoys reading. He also volunteers with Highmark Caring Place. Freda Tetfer has lived in Erie for 12 years, where she has a watershed-friendly, certified property and pollinator-friendly garden. She studied soil science and adult education and worked in land use, forestry, pollution prevention, environmental education, and orientation and mobility. She advocates for universal accessibility, pedestrian access, biodiversity, environmental justice, and improved transit. She hopes the EAC can help people develop an enlightened self-interest so they are motivated to implement environmental best practices. Bob Howden is a retired public relations and marketing professional and has been a resident of the city for more than 35 years. An avid environmentalist, he currently is a member of the board of directors of the Asbury Woods Partnership and also works at Asbury Woods as a volunteer. Bob has been a member of the Sierra Club for nearly 50 years and is a past chairman of the Sierra Club's Lake Erie group. Dr. Mike Campbell came to Erie to begin a career as a biology teacher at Mercyhurst College in 1984 and will be retiring from that work in May 2024, finishing his last 2 months teaching marine ecology at Dungarvan, Ireland, Erie's sister city. Mike loves Erie and his treasures of lakes, streams, and wetlands and forests, and he enjoyed raising his 4 children here with his wife, Anne. Mike has a passion for the history of Erie and its relationship to water and forest resources, and has done research in aquatic and pollution ecology throughout his career. He is an avid bird watcher and gardener. He's a member of PLEWA, Pennsylvania Lake Erie Watershed Association, and co-leader with Sister Pat Lupo of HECA, Hold Erie Koch Accountable. Aaron Kerr. Aaron Kerr is Executive Director of Groundwork Erie, a new nonprofit which employs youth in conservation work in the Presque Isle watershed. Aaron has written 2 books in the areas of philosophy of education and environmental ethics, and was formerly Associate Professor of Philosophy and Chair of the Philosophy Department at Gannon University. Sister Pat Lupo, who is not with us today, is a Benedictine sister. She is the Environmental Program Director at the Inner City Neighborhood Art House and also has classes at John E. Horan Garden Apartments. She is co-chair of HECA, Hold Erie Koch Accountable, and has extensive experience working on environmental issues in Erie and the surrounding area. She has a degree in education, general science, and environmental education. She is passionate about the Erie community and committed to ensuring that we maintain a healthy, viable, and sustainable way of life today and into the future. Kat Blair is also assisting the EAC. She's the executive assistant to the chief of staff and currently serving as our secretary. As you can hear, our members bring a wealth of knowledge, expertise, and passion to this council. I want to thank you for serving, and I look forward to working with all of you. I'd like to ask Dr. Sam Mason to come on up and give some closing remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Jackie and Mayor Schimper. And thanks to my fellow committee members for allowing me the honor to speak on behalf of the entire committee. As mentioned, it was during Mayor Schimper's first Earth Day in office back in 2018 that he announced his desire for the creation of the Environmental Advisory Council that is being introduced here today, 5.5 years later. This would not have happened without the focused and concerted effort of many. Sarah Peelman, mentioned earlier, the sustainability director for the city, has been a constant force in seeing this through. Penn Future, first under the lead of Sarah Bennett and now under the lead of Jenny Tompkins, called for the creation of an Environmental Advisory Council and their common agenda for protecting Pennsylvania's Lake Erie watershed, and have also served as a consistent resource and advocate throughout this process. Sister Pat Lupo, who's on the board, as well as Freda Tepfer, who's also on the council, were instrumental in researching EACs and getting the ordinance passed. These invested community members and others met with EAC representatives from Allentown, Bethlehem, Doylestown Township, Harrisburg, Meadville, as part of this 5.5-year process to develop a 12-step roadmap for implementation, leading us to the point we are here today. These steps included introducing the concept and purpose to the various municipal authorities, boards, and commissions, including the Planning Commission, the EMTA, the Sewer Authority, Erie Waterworks Board, Housing Authority, the Redevelopment Authority, the Urban Forest Committee, Zoning Hearing Board, as well as all of the city department directors. Similarly, the concept and purpose was presented to the community via various neighborhood networks, including the Erie Neighborhood Growth Partnership, the Sister of St. Joseph Neighborhood Network, East Avenue, Hess Avenue Neighborhood Watch, Bay and Harbor Association, Central City Neighborhood Alliance, Eastside Grassroots Coalition. A presentation was also given to the City Council in this room during one of their public meetings, with community comments solicited at several other public meetings. It was a lot of work. So all of this to say that a lot of work, thought, time, and attention preceded the passage of the Environmental Advisory Council ordinance by the City Council in January of this year, and the announcement here today of its inaugural members. I do think it is important to note that, like all members of any authority, boards, or commissions of the city, all of the EAC members being introduced today are unpaid volunteers. I applaud each of us for volunteering our time, energy, and educated perspective. As mentioned, we held our first meeting 2 weeks ago, shortly after Thanksgiving. At this meeting, We Can Serve PA laid the foundation for our purpose and the process for moving forward. This foundational work will continue in the coming months as we establish our bylaws and set our priorities. On behalf of the entire EAC, we thank everyone for the efforts that brought us here today and for their support of our environment. We all feel immensely honored to serve our community as we look to a brighter, cleaner, more resilient future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sam. We appreciate you joining us today and helping to protect, enhance, and improve the environment here in Erie. Thanks also to Jackie Spry for working with the Environmental Advisory Council and for continuing to help all of us in Erie make Erie a better place to live, work, raise a family, go to school, and even just to visit. I also want to thank, again, everyone serving on this new committee. They're going to do great work. I'm really looking forward to that as well. So this concludes this week's press conference. Please continue to follow us on social media for the latest updates on everything happening here in the city of Erie. Everyone who spoke is now available for interviews, and even if they didn't speak, they're available for an interview if you want to interview them. Thanks a lot for being here today. Appreciate it.